So I've lived long enough to realize that times have changed. I was watching a television interview the other night, 60 Minutes, the CBS News show. They were doing a retrospective, and they had an interview with a former Secret Service agent named Clint Hill. Clint Hill was the agent that you see on the films climbing up on the back of the presidential limousine in Dallas on November 22nd, 1963, when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Clint Hill was, years later in this interview, talking about how if he had reacted just a little bit sooner, perhaps he could have saved the president. And he broke down in tears. It was a very compelling interview. That's what Secret Service agents do. They protect the president. That same day, in the presidential motorcade, in another car, Rufus Youngblood, another agent, threw himself on the body of Vice President Lyndon Baines Johnson, protecting him, shielding him with his body, not knowing what was taking place. That's what Secret Service agents do. They protect the president. And then there's another famous film that many of us have seen time and time again of the Reagan assassination attempt, where stray bullets were flying all over the place. An agent took a stray bullet, and then another agent pushed Reagan into the limousine. They sped off, going toward the White House in safety. And the agent in the car recognized that Reagan had been shot. And he diverted the car to the hospital rather than to the White House. And that split-second decision saved Ronald Reagan's life. That's what agents do. That's what Secret Service agents do. They protect the president. They take a bullet for the president. And then a few days ago, a news story broke where current Secret Service agents protecting President Barack Obama, and on his detail in an advanced situation, were in a Latin American country and got caught with prostitutes. And it was a very seamy and very sordid affair, and heads are starting to roll as the investigation unfolds there. Quite a different story with the Secret Service agents, those men who wear the suits, dark glasses, have the earpiece in, tasked to defend and protect the president, to take one for the president, cavorting with prostitutes and getting caught with it, and a scandal. As I said, I've lived long enough to see that times have changed, and I wonder about the character, not just of agents, but perhaps the character of our own nation and of our own country and our world as a whole and what's taken place here. And it reminded me of a scripture in 2 Timothy chapter 3 that has a very important point. The Apostle Paul wrote, "Know this, that in the last days perilous times will come, for men will be lovers of themselves." And he goes on to list a number of different traits, character flaws that would be predominant in what he says will be the last days. And he says in verse 5, "From such people turn away." As we look at what's taken place in our own headlines, and I could go on and on with other stories of this particular nature, of a breakdown in character, let's learn something. Character does count. Yes, times have changed. People's expectations change, character expectations even change, but that doesn't mean that yours has to, nor mine. Let's take a lesson here from the scriptures, and from such behavior, from such attitudes, let's turn away, and let's turn toward the character of God that protects, that serves, that holds to a high standard. That's BT Daily. Join us next time.